Hey, Laura.
Hey!
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have a discussion today. We're gonna talk about basically the conversations that we've been having behind the scenes, and we decided that we wanted to bring it out to the public and talk about this because I feel like it's a very, very important topic. It's a message that needs to get out. And we're in sync with that, just like so many others, because we are a collective. So before we get started though, did you want to tell everybody about yourself? Just introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are.
So my name is Laura and I come from Cuba. I have been living in the US for quite some time. And I'm part of your lovely group of ladies, goddesses that we all are. And what we're doing now is sharing very important messages that everybody needs to know because it's happening very soon. And I want everybody to know and be ready and gradually prep their bodies so they don't have any issues or complications in the process of ascension.
Okay. Okay. And this is perfect because I've been reading this book called the Return of the I think it's called The Return of the Anunnaki. I got it in there. And they was talking about like everything that you spoke about, they're talking about this in the book. So
and I never read the book, so when everything connects, because I never read that book, but there's a reason for that.
Confirmation. So all right. So let's get started. Let's talk about the new earth or this new earth. Some people say it's a theory, but you say that it's not a theory.
So your question was, what is this new earth and if it's a theory or not?
Yeah, some people say it's a theory, like, we're whereas, some people say we're not even on the earth. I don't know. So it's like you hear so many different things. So I just want to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah. So the new earth is not a theory in any way. It is a fact. Some people call it a theory because they are somewhat doubtful that it will happen, but it is a fact. And as a matter of fact, it is already there. It's already created. Sorry. So many distractions, my goodness. Give me one second. Sorry. So the new earth is not a theory, is a fact. And the thing is, this has been happening for a very, very long time in the spirit world. So we all knew that this was going to happen at some point. And for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, this new earth has been gradually created spiritually. And the reason why we're going to see it soon in the physical world reflected is because it has been on the way being created spiritually first. But now, because of the energies have increased and accumulated so much in that direction of intention and wanting better, is that we're going to see it physically. So there's nobody stopping this because the energy has reached such a high momentum that there's absolutely nobody stopping this. Nobody. Like they cannot do anything. That's how much energy there is, and we have a lot of protection from all the universes. Like not only this universe, we have, and I get goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. We have protection from all the universes that there are and will ever be. Like we have protection from each side, from every single way, from angels, archangels. And yes, there's some archangels that are good. So I know, some are not, but there are some archangels that are good, like Archangel Michael. So we have archangels, angels, master guides. We have the entire universal forces with us.
And it's funny how you said that because I've come to that conclusion too. Some people like to divide everything and they say, okay, like you have like this one species of aliens that are, but I feel like it's really about it doesn't matter like what species or alien planet, whatever, it don't matter. I feel like it's really versus those who want to see this new earth, this new energy come on the planet versus those that don't, like low vibrational. I feel like that's what it really boils down to. And then, like you said, there are archangels that are good, that want this energy to come on the planet, and there are some that don't. And I feel like for every every species, I feel like that's how it is. So
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
it's really like maybe good versus evil type of thing, the dark versus light, I guess, if you want to
In
look
a
at.
way, in a way, so people need to remember that there are always two sides to everything. There's always two extremes to everything. So when there's good in one side, there's also the opposite. So I'm not going to call it good or bad because people tend to misinterpret those two words. I'm going to call it the two extremes, complete opposite on each side. And that is very personal for each person, because what may be good for me may be bad for another person, and vice versa. So when I say good or bad, I don't mean, I'm not generalizing. I'm talking about on a personal level,
Gotcha.
because people are always choosing with their minds their reality and which way they decide to go, and that's how they see it reflected in their physical
Mm.
reality. So there's always two sides to everything. So yes, there are good archangels and bad archangels, etc. But the good forces outpass, I don't know if that's a word, surpass like the bad. So, there's way more good than bad.
Mm.
Way more. Because love brings everything good, and love will always win. And love is the strongest and purest vibration that there is in all the universes combined that will ever be, that exist and have existed.
I agree. I agree. So with this new earth, is it going to be like a like the dimensions start to merge? And I
It they already is already merging. So we are right now in sort of like in a middle stage of like the fourth dimension going to the fifth. So we're like sort of in the middle right now. We're moving from the third to the fourth and then to the fifth, because our bodies need to get ready. Sometimes some people are not ready to jump from the third dimension to the fifth. So it's like gradual. Some people are because their bodies are more advanced, etc. But a lot of people are not. So that's why I'm saying that for people to gradually, prep themselves in every single way possible.
how can one prepare themselves for this merge?
So, first of all, love consciousness. People need to be conscious about that. And the new earth is a conscious decision on every level, soul, mind, and body. Is the combination of all the three. It's not only one, it's the three of them. So they need to be very conscious about that decision. And if they're not conscious, they won't be able to go to the new earth, because in the new earth there's going to be a lot of love consciousness. So it's impossible for somebody to not be conscious and go to the new earth. It's just the vibrations are way too different, you know too it's kind of hard sometimes to explain
Okay.
something, but
Yeah, it's so it I mean, this kind of comes back to like what we've always known, that when we get to this stage of this point, what some call, revelations, where it starts to play out, it's like we'll have a split. So there will be some that are on that frequency, the dimension, which is, I look at it as just a different state of consciousness, right? And then you'll have some that are what they'll still be like on the 3D level.
yeah.
Um, and so their reality will look totally different from someone on the 5D level, right? So but we have this like everybody has the opportunity to move into the 5D. They just have
Yeah,
to
prep
work.
their bodies. Yeah.
And I also feel like
Their minds is the most important thing, because from the mind comes everything else. So
right.
the main thing is work on your mind, and that will take care of everything else. Some people may start with their bodies, and that will help heal their mind. So you could do it in different ways, but the mind is the primary force that is driving everything. So people need to remember that.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree with that because you can heal yourself with your mind. Like you can heal your body with just your mind power. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like too, like for those, like you have those like us who are proactive, like we see this coming and we're preparing, and those who don't get it, do you feel like they'll go through things, to make them shift? You know how sometimes, like I say, if nothing moves you, life will move you. Like if you don't make that, like those conscious efforts to work on yourself, that you'll be hit with like all of this situation, because it just seems like, some people, like the earth, it's not getting better. Things aren't getting better on the planet. It's like things are
That's
getting
not
better.
true.
Yeah.
It's not getting better for them because that's their mind consciousness, but it doesn't mean that it's not getting better.
Yeah.
They just need to look past it, because when you have low vibrations and you are not able to see more than meets the eye, you are sort of stuck in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So they cannot see past it. That's what they say, that it's getting worse, because in reality it is getting worse, but it's only getting worse for those that are in that consciousness of worse, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's important to shift your consciousness in your mind.
I agree. I agree. I agree with that. I know we talked about emotions too. I feel like that is another thing that keeps people stuck in the 3D or stuck in a low vibration when they don't have any control over their emotions, because it seems like there are beings here on the planet, and that's a whole nother conversation, like I wanted to talk about, like with these beings that want to keep us stuck here. It seems like they create things for us so they can feed off of our emotions, right? So it seems as if the emotions being stuck will emotionally, like that'll keep you stuck here, like on 3D, how important, like what do you think about emotions, and how important is that for the, what do we call it, ascension? Yes.
So remember, people need to remember that everything has to do with everything, and everything is interconnected. And through your thoughts, you're creating your reality. But thoughts provoke an emotion within yourself. So they're interconnected. Emotions is connected to thoughts, and thoughts are connected to emotions. So really they both need to change, but when you change your thoughts, you change your emotions. So that's a good part. Like people don't need to be like going crazy trying to fix this and that or correct. They don't need to do all of that. They just, by improving one thing, they could improve on the rest gradually, but they can improve the rest, because that's how it works, because everything is connected with everything.
It's like a ripple effect. Like, once you work on one thing, then, everything else will start to follow. You just have to like keep going. And some people, like, what do you say for those people who feel like they're just so way down and they don't have the energy, like what could you say to them? Like someone who's just been through a lot of trauma and they want to work on themselves, like they don't even know where to start. Like how can they increase their vibration?